Hey everybody, Dr. Frank DeLolo, and thank you for tuning in. Today's motivation for the video is a conversation that I had earlier this morning with someone, and it posed a question. And I'll ask you the question. Have you ever been frustrated that your body's not healing fast enough? Have you ever been like sick or had something going on with yourself that you were just frustrated because you didn't feel as though you were getting better quick, right? So that was the conversation I had this morning with someone. And I just want to, break it down, maybe shed some light on that particular scenario. So number one, you want to take a look at the fact that, how long have you had this thing? How long have you been suffering with this cold or this sinus infection or this neck problem or headaches or whatever other symptom that you might be suffering with? How long, right? And then let's take it a step further and say, how long have you not realized that it's been going on? For example, so you say, I've been suffering with this problem for 3 weeks. But really, if you really think about it, maybe that problem has been brewing for months, if not maybe even years, when you think back and you say, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what put me over the edge. But really, if I really think about it, this has been bothering me for 3 years. I've had, it was very low level and I could get by and push through, and it really didn't stop me from doing anything. I was sleeping good. I was still doing my activities, et cetera, et cetera. I was working, no problem. But if I really think about it, it was that long ago where this problem really originated from. So you gotta take that into consideration and, quite frankly, give your body a chance. Be patient with your body. Was there an injury? So maybe you've had the experience where you came in and there was quick results. Maybe, I don't want to give it a time frame, but let's say 2-3 weeks, and the problem, the condition, whatever you had, was pretty much gone, at least 85 to 95%, if not maybe completely 100% gone. And then something else happens where there's, let's say, an injury, like a trip, a fall, picking up heavy luggage, reaching for something in the kitchen and feeling that strain, and you don't think it's a big deal. You don't think it's a big deal. But in fact, did you injure that area, and did you strain it to a degree that wasn't realized at the time, but you started on like a faulty starting point. Not a faulty starting point, but you didn't really gauge it as to what the real starting point was. This is no big deal. It's a neck strain, or it's a shoulder issue. I've had it before. It's gone away really quick, usually a week or two, 1-2 sessions, 3 sessions, 4 sessions, adjustments, etc. And I'm fine. And then you have another scenario, and it's not healing as quickly as it once did. And then there's frustration. I get it. I understand. But what I'm saying is, I'm just bringing that to light. I'm making you think about the fact that maybe that is true, and maybe the starting point this time around was not exactly the starting point that, we as the doctors and you as the patients really thought that it was. It was maybe a little bit even worse than a problem, right? Just gotta, understand that, right? So next question I would say is, what are you doing outside of the office? What are you doing outside of the office that, things that allow you to heal instead of things that continually stress you? So look, common sense says that if you get proper rest and you drink enough water and you're hydrated on a regular basis and you're disciplined with that, and you exercise and you eat good foods and you're not filling yourself with junk, etc., etc. Look, we're all human. None of us are perfect in that regard. I'm one of them. I try to do my best. You try to do more things that are going to be putting you in healing mode as opposed to being in sick mode. But we're human, and we do what we do. You might like some sweets, like I've said it before. I'll say it again. I like chocolate chips. Love them. Love cookie dough. All that stuff. That's not my staple meal. I have it. I'm not perfect. But what are you doing? What are you doing outside of your practitioner's office that is helping yourself? Or are you doing things that are continually stressing the system? Continually stressing you and not adding to your healing mode, but kind of pulling you away and getting you more into sick mode. You got to think about what you're doing when like watching TV, for example, or in front of a computer, how you hold your phone and when you're on the phone, your sleeping positions, your driving positions, your sleeping, like lying, standing, and sitting. Like, how are you doing that? Are you like slouched down like this? Are you using an exercise ball at work where you're like on one of those big ballistic balls, those exercise balls, where you're constantly engaging your core, and that's more healthy for you than like maybe a non-ergonomic chair and really gives you bad posture? Or maybe you're on your computer screen, you're supposed to be looking straight like this, but the keyboard is over there, so you're like typing all day long and you're doing that, and then you say, I have trouble turning my head to the right, because you're looking left like 24/7, or at least 8, 9, 10 hours out of the day. And then on top of that, even if I gave you the example of having an injury and what the true starting point was, then let's just throw on the true state of affairs when it comes to what manifests in the body, meaning conditions, disease processes, aches, pains, or symptoms of some kind. Where do they primarily originate from? I'm going to tell you that it's in the 90 percentile. It's in the 90 percentile that a lot of things that manifest in the body are from the emotions. Some people believe me, some don't. A lot of people acknowledge that and they nod their head and they said, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're emotional beings. Emotions and your mental state, meaning like your feelings about something and or your thoughts, right? Your autosuggestion and your thinking, how you think about things. Not to say there's wrong, right, or indifferent, because those are arguable points, but I'm going to say like what serves you and what doesn't, what goes with natural law and what goes against natural law. So if that's the basis of what's going on, like for example, the conversation this morning, there was a couple of conversations this morning, and what time are we in? We're a week before Christmas right now. So I even asked one of the patients this morning, I said, you don't have to, I don't want to know any specifics, it's none of my business, but in order for me to help you so that I understand where you're at, is this time of year a happy time or not? Right? Is it happy or is it sad or is it kind of in between? Would you rather it be over already, or do you really love the festivities and the partying and the jovialness and all that? Like the majority of the time, people are happy during this time. I'm not saying it's a downer but for everyone, but sometimes people have lost loved ones during this time, and it's a remembrance of that. That's not fun. I mean, that sucks, right? That's not something that you look forward to year after year. Or someone has passed, and this is like let's say your first holiday or second holiday without that person. Things like that. I don't want to be too heavy, but that's like what I'm saying, that some people are going through this time. It's not just joyous and festive, and for some people it is, and that's awesome, and it should be, and you should enjoy yourself and your friends and your family and whatever it is that's important to you. But a lot of times there's a lot of stress, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. There's a lot of stress that goes along with this time of year. So, the conversation I had this morning was that's already like the basis. That's the foundation of what's going on, and I know that. Not with that particular patient, but just with several other patients that I was talking to, and I had asked that question, so I knew where they already were. And they might have been frustrated with their results, where they felt they weren't getting better or healing as fast as they should be, or as fast as they have done in the past. And the bottom line is that 90-something% of the ailments are emotionally based first. And during this time of year, and it wasn't a great time for them, and they were kind of upset about something and different things with family or friends, etc. And then you have an injury on top of that. That's just a recipe for not disaster, but a recipe for more pain and maybe not healing as quickly as you once did. All right. So be patient with your body and be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about all the questions that I just asked you. What is the true starting point? Have you had this condition before? When did it actually start? Even unrealized. You noticed it by this time, but when do you think that it might have really started? And then take that into consideration, right? Move the dial towards healing, not away from healing or towards sickness. Do things that are going to, serve you and not that are going to not harm you, but certainly not serve you in a way that your body is going to be already pumped and primed to heal and to feel better as fast as possible. All day long today, I don't make recommendations unless I mean it. I don't make recommendations to say for someone to come in for a visit unless I mean it and I know that they need it. And my clinical findings and my intellectual findings and my heart says that they ought to be there again for an extra tune-up or a visit that is going to help them get past whatever it is that they need to get past. I recommend it. Today I was recommending it all day long because this is just that time of year where the stress levels are through the ceiling and people just need to, let's put it this way, people need to maybe care for themselves, care for others of course as well, but care for themselves in a sense, not from a selfish standpoint, but care for themselves a little bit more during stressful periods so that they can get through and adapt through those stressful times better and with more ease, less pain, less suffering, more fulfillment, and happier out of the body working better and them and you feeling better. And then you can go through this time of year as a servant, as you should, in giving in whatever capacity that you want to give. And when you feel good, that's easier to do. But the original motivation was for anyone who might have been and are frustrated with how fast you're getting your results and you're healing and how fast you're feeling better or not feeling better. Take those things into consideration that I just shared with you. Be real with yourself, be honest, and hang in there. And usually right around the corner is that spot where you will in fact feel better. It's almost, I don't want to use the word almost, I would say that it's inevitable. It's inevitable if you are consistent and you're disciplined and you're constantly creating the atmosphere and the environment for the body to be in a healing state and for it to work better and work efficiently and work normally. And the direct proportion of that, it pretty much goes hand in hand. It's got to feel better. If the body gets balanced, it's going to do what it needs to do to be healthy, and it's going to feel, a balanced body feels way better than an unbalanced body. Let's put it that way. Okay? So hang in there. If you're frustrated, this message was for you. No matter who you're seeing, no matter what practitioner you're seeing, if you're going to a chiropractor, you're going to another practitioner, or a medical doctor, a physical therapist, an acupuncturist, a massage therapist, a personal trainer, what have you, and you're not getting the results as quickly as you want to, first of all, get your body balanced, number one, right? If you're local in our area, get in and get balanced and get that foundational work done so that a balanced body is always going to be, at the very least, a balanced body is going to work and feel better than an unbalanced body. That's number one. And then number two, just be real with yourself, but hang in there, be consistent, and the results are most of the time right around the corner, just 1, 2, maybe 3 more steps. All right, message of the day, Dr. Frank DeLolo. I hope that helped. If you like the video, like it, and if anybody else can benefit from it, share this with them. As always, put in the comments section down below that any topics that you do want to hear about, and we will try to deliver on that the best that we possibly can. And take a look for us tomorrow. Go out and be your best self. Have a great night.